All right, everyone, this video is going to be a great one for you. We're actually going to talk about certain things that we're actually today trying to develop and practice on in our own game. So whatever level you're at right now, 3-5, 4-0, 4-5, and you aren't trying to add more tools to your tool belt, for example, it is really important that you continue to do that. You never let that die.
Absolutely.
As we are growing as coaches and as players, we're always trying to add something. So we are going to go over exactly what we are adding to our games currently and why, and maybe we'll give you a few tips along the way. All right, so now let's jump into the first thing that I am starting to implement in my game as I grow and progress, and that is the two-handed backhand topspin drop. And why is this? Why is this really important to me? Well, on my forehand side, I have a very, very consistent topspin drop, and it's very, very aggressive. And on my backhand side, currently, or up until a few months ago, all I do is slice the ball. Now, even though that can be a really good shot to have, and lots of players do it, I could keep it down, not pop it up. I just want to develop something really, really aggressive or more aggressive, so maybe I can set my partner up for more poaching opportunities, or so that I can just have a more aggressive drop so that it's easier to get to the non-volley zone line. So at a high level, this is something that I'm currently practicing today, and I'll show you a few of those. So that's my two-handed topspin backhand drop in progress. Okay, I'm still working on it. So for me, it really gets that ball to dip down a lot quicker, just like my topspin drops. And it's just another tool, another piece that I can add to my game. And when I turn this way, I could also drive the ball as well, right? So my opponents won't know what's coming. So a couple tips on this, if you are trying to implement this in your game, is to make sure that you get your feet set so that you're hitting the ball at the apex or a little bit after. I think that's really important when you're hitting topspin on either side. And another key tip is to really get this paddle head down so that you're brushing up on the ball. That's something that I'm still working on. Again, for me, it's a work in progress, but over time, I think it's really going to be an offensive weapon, especially on my backhand wing. Really quick, if you're watching this video, statistics say that 8 out of 10 of you watching are between that 3-0 and 3-5 level. I just created a 5-part video series called Breaking the 3-5 Barrier, and you can access it for free. All you have to do is go to the description below, click on the link, put in your email, and we'll send you exactly what you need to do step by step to get to that 4-0 level. Now, let's get right back to the video.
Okay, my shot that I personally have been working on is my two-hand drive. I was a left-handed baseball player, but for some reason coming into pickleball, I just decided that I was going to have a very good, consistent backhand slice shot. So I use that a lot with my dinks. I use that a lot with my drop. And although I'm very consistent and I'm very comfortable with it, I decided that I need to also have a little bit more offense on this backhand side, which ultimately resulted in me learning a two-hand backhand drive. So for me, it is a lot like a baseball swing. It's nothing too crazy for me, but there are things that I have to change up technique-wise going from baseball to pickleball. All right, I'm gonna show you a couple. Try not to be too judgmental of me. I'm still working on it just a little bit, but here we go.
Ooh, yeah. That was a good one.
So big things for me personally, like I said, I'm left-handed, so I am using a lot of my left hand here to kind of guide my shot. But for me personally, taking my adjustment steps so I'm able to execute this shot is huge for me. And also, I need to make sure that I'm getting underneath this ball. So even though this is a drive still, I do have to have a little bit of projection in my swing going upward, because otherwise I'm gonna be sending that ball straight into the net. So setting up my feet and making sure I'm still brushing upward on this swing. So even though it is a drive, I still can get some dip and some topspin on this shot.
Oh! Oh! All right, the second thing that I am currently working on is my two-handed backhand topspin dinks. I talked about in the beginning how I'm working on my drops, I'm working on my dinks as well. Now, for the same reason, I wanna be more aggressive off my backhand wing. My slice is very, very reliable and I can hit it time and time again, but I wanna have another option so that I can actually put a little bit of topspin pressure to the backhand. And in this scenario here, since most players are right-handed, as I'm rolling this ball, right, with my two hands, it's going into their backhand. So if they're slicing it back or if they're having trouble moving their feet, this is a very difficult shot for a lot of players, or at least it will force more of a dead dink coming back. So this is what I'm currently working on. I'll show you a couple clips here. All right, so like you saw there, I mean, even that last one, Kaden, that one was pretty tough.
Pretty dang tough.
But this is something I've really been working on a lot, or a couple key things that I'm really focused on is number one, I have to move my feet. So the thing about hitting topspin with two hands is your footwork has to be really good, because I'm not gonna be hitting it like this. So I really gotta use that shuffle step or whatever I need to do to now get this ball out in front of my belly button or in front of my waist so that I can actually roll from here. So it does take extra footwork, so that's really important. And the other thing is, something that I'm really focusing on is really using my left hand for the shot. A lot of times I think in the beginning, I'm really pulling with my right hand instead of rolling with my left. So one thing that even helped me on this shot, Ken, if you just hit me a couple, I kind of like almost took my right hand off so that I can get the feel of what a roll actually feels like, so that when I put my right hand on there, now I have the same sort of stroke. So generally most strokes with two-handed shots are going to be controlled with that left hand, and this is something that I've really been working on.
Oh, hey, it's me again. For my second thing that I've been working on personally is finding some offense here in this transition zone. Now, yes, you've probably heard me, you've probably heard Jordan and others say that in this transition zone, you should probably be looking to reset. And for the most part, they are correct. But that doesn't mean you can't catch your opponents off guard with maybe a little bit of offense here and there, depending on the ball that they give you. So I'm gonna do a quick little drill. I'm gonna be resetting most of these balls, but if Jordan does give me a ball that is a little bit higher, I'm working on this little bit of topspin volley, kind of like a speed up here at the kitchen line, but I'm gonna be using it from back here, so maybe it'll be a little bit lower between his knees and his waist instead of maybe at his chest, because I'm here in the transition. Oh yeah. So I'm looking for offense when I can. I have to be a little bit more picky with what ball I get. So I'm not just swinging for the fences. I'm getting a ball that's in my contact point and in my zone, and I'm looking for something that's absolutely above my knees so I can keep the swing a little bit straighter. But if it's at the knees, I can still brush and hit with some topspin.
All right, the third thing that I've been trying to implement in my game, and another tool that I've been adding to my toolbox, if you haven't seen the progression here, it's the two-handed topspin speed up, okay? I talked about the topspin drop, topspin dink, and now the topspin speed up. So why this is really important to me and something that I've been including in my game is because I've been doing more and more two-handed topspin dinks, right? So if I'm in this position already, rolling, it makes sense for me to develop offense off of the bounce so that I can actually attack my opponents, right? So now I'm no longer only dinking here, but I'm actually attacking from the backhand side. If you are a higher level player or you're aspiring to be one, I really encourage you to start actually, experimenting with creating offense off your backhand, because most players' forehands are really good, but when it comes to their backhand, that's kind of like a safe place to dink or a safe place to hit. So in my game, I'm looking to be more offensive from the backhand wing. So here's a couple speed ups here that I'm working on. Oh my gosh.
Nice, that's actually really good.
Obviously, I'm still working on this shot. As I improve it, I think it's gonna become better and better. But again, this is just to add more offense from my backhand wing. And I think it pairs really well with my two-handed roll I'm working on. So if you currently don't have a two-handed backhand and you are trying to get to a really high level, I do encourage you to at least today start experimenting with it and getting comfortable with it, because I think it is something that you may utilize in the future.
My third thing that I've been working on is my angled overheads. So obviously at the pro level, everybody's got good hands, everybody has good defense. So just hitting the overheads with pace, unfortunately, is not enough these days. So what I've been working on is, finding the outside angles to either get them out of position to open up the middle on my overheads or just to put the point away. Because if you hit that ball straight down with as much force as you can put into it, I guarantee you that ball is still coming back. So work on these angles. They don't have to be at 100%. You can start at maybe a little bit less pace and then work your way up towards it. But this is one thing that has been huge for me. Oh. So overheads are definitely not a weakness, but definitely there is a lot of improvement for me. I am a little bit more natural on my left side because I was a left-handed thrower. So actually I've been working on a left-handed overhead as well, but in this situation, I'm not always going to have time to be able to switch hands. So I really need to work on these overheads, not only just for power, but also the consistency of these angles. So working on that all the time. You guys should be too.
Everyone, thank you so much. These are the 3 shots that Caden and I are both individually working on. Again, it's always good to push yourself to learn new things, and you're not going to be perfect right away. You saw both of us make mistakes, and that's part of the progress.
Yeah, guys, it's plain and simple. Ben Johns continues to work on new shots. So if the #1 player in the world is working on new shots, so should you. Obviously for us, these are newer shots for us. We know what we need to, make improvements on. Now it's just a matter of doing it. So feel free to ask questions down below, follow, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Okay. Oh my God.